let's go. Here we go, guys. It's going to be great. All right, let's do this.
Huntington University Studio Production Class presents
Forester Stories, where we get in touch with the roots of our community.
one branch at a time.
Hello and welcome to the season finale of Forester Stories. If you're new, welcome. If you've been with us for a while, thanks for watching. I'm your host, Ashley Weill. Today I'm joined by Jay LeBlanc. Jay, what is your position on Joyful Noise? What do you do?
So I give oversight to Joyful Noise, to the team that leads worship here on campus for chapels.
Mm-hmm. So could you explain for those viewers who don't know, like, what is Joyful Noise?
Joyful Noise is the student worship team here on campus. So they are selected through an audition process, and then they lead worship for chapel. Mainly, they are the ones that lead worship for chapel, each chapel session. Yeah.
Okay. How did you get to be the head of this worship group?
Well, back in 2016, I started teaching adjunct for what is now the Christian Thought and Practice Department, and that just kind of opened up some doors as far as teaching worship leadership, and then a position came available to do that, as well as give oversight to chapel worship, namely Joyful Noise, and decided to take that position.
Mm-hmm. What made you so willing to be a part of this group? Like, how's it been like taking on that responsibility?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. The students are incredible, really have a great time just being a part of the worship environment with them. But I really count it a privilege just to journey with them. And I've had the privilege of being in worship ministry in local churches for the last 25 years. And so just saw this as a great opportunity to just simply journey with the next generation and pass on to them maybe some things that the Lord's taught me.
Wow. So what are some of the biggest values of this group?
Biggest values, I would say, of this group is they really, the current group as well as past groups that I've had the privilege of being a part of, they really do have a heart to see this campus worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. And so just watching that unfold, watching the Lord work in and through them to accomplish that, and then other students too outside of this group that are being incorporated into chapel worship as well. Just seeing an incredible group of students rise up that want to be a part of that.
Wow, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. So what do you look for when deciding who's going to be a part of the band? Like, is it more or less consistent every year? Do you guys change it up? Like, what is that process like?
It does vary from year to year. So if like a member that is currently a part of the team would like to still be in Joyful Noise, they can be, and we evaluate that. But what we look for certainly is heart. Do they have a heart of worship? Are they journeying with the Lord? Is their relationship with the Lord a priority? And then certainly too, the talent to lead worship.
For sure. All right, we are going to actually cut to a short intermission, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about more things music and more things Joyful Noise. All right, guys, welcome back. We are talking music and Joyful Noise with Jay LeBlanc. My next question for you, Jay, is what are the steps that you take to get prepared for chapels? Like, what is the rehearsal process like?
Mm-hmm. Well, the rehearsal process really starts all the way back 2 weeks. Well, even further back than that, I was going to say 2 weeks before even the semester begins. But even during the summer, those who are part of Joyful Noise are rehearsing songs that we're going to be using all throughout that first semester. And then the team gets together 2 weeks before the semester begins, and they have an intensive retreat where they're working through all the songs, almost 20 songs, trying to get those prepared.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then after that, chapels begin. We start incorporating those songs, and then there's a rehearsal every Monday night, usually before that Tuesday and Thursday chapel.
All right, wow. So how have the chapels looked different because of COVID this year?
Well, the main reason why they're different, they've looked different, is there's no students, there's no audience, there's no, participatory worship going on with the student body, and we certainly miss that. It's super weird to just be, recording these songs and looking out, if we're in the auditorium, looking out to an empty room. And so that's a huge difference this year. We really miss that.
Yeah, I'm sure the energy must feel like really different because of that.
Very much so.
Yeah.
No interaction.
So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages that you've found through doing chapels through the years?
Yeah. The advantages, I would say, with this COVID period of time, the advantages have been we've really been able to utilize more students in the process of leading worship, being a part of even just smaller sets, coming into a studio like this and recording some songs to be used for chapel. So that's really been great. I would say too, for Joyful Noise, I don't want to speak for them, but I know it is really crazy, like say coming in from a class that they might have right before chapel, and they're just trying to make it to chapel and get their pack on, get mic'd up and all of that ready to lead. And so you're really quickly trying to get into a frame of mind to lead, where now you're able to just say come to a recording session and just kind of more ease into that process than this hurried process that we can have on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometime.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned like an audition process. Like, how is that for students? Like, what is that process like?
Yeah, so anyone that would be interested in being a part of like Joyful Noise, they would simply, the best thing to do is simply contact me first, and we just kind of walk through a process of getting to know them, getting to know their story and their testimony, and then what they would be interested in doing, if that's singing or playing an instrument, and just walking through then an audition process of really getting to know their heart and their talent in a process like that.
So how have you seen this like Joyful Noise make a change in like students' lives? Like, how has that been?
Well, I would say the difference is certainly within the students who participate, as they're leading worship and just the Lord is using them in that context. It is life-changing that they're able to serve in that way and see the Lord using them in the context of changing students' lives and drawing them closer to Christ. But worship is powerful. Corporate worship experience, like a chapel experience, is just powerful when there's an authentic environment of worship happening and offering that praise to the Lord. It's powerful and it's life-changing. Yeah.
Yeah. So lastly, if someone wanted to get like involved in a group like this, like what would they need to do?
The best thing to do right now would just be to contact me, email me at the letter J, then my last name LeBlanc at Huntington.edu, and say, man, I'm really interested, and maybe not even interested just in Joyful Noise, but just getting involved in chapel worship, because we're wanting to get as many students involved in leading worship that would like to, and also to have their own voice in leading worship. So maybe not the Joyful Noise voice right now that you hear, but maybe their own voice, what they can bring to the table with worship here on campus. We'd love that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. This has been the season finale of Forester Stories. Stay tuned for more stuff that we have in store, and have a great day.